How screwed is Ubisoft with Assassin's Creed? And the last bit of news about them planning to create an international incident by suing people with Canada's help, okay, that's going to go over really well. They said the game needs to be a smashing success or the company's going to be in deep, deep trouble. How many copies does this game need to sell to be a smashing success? Well, we have some figures here. According to Google, an ex-user projects the budget over $350 million. Now, 9 meters projects the budget between 250 and 350 million. How many copies does this game need to sell in order to break even with that kind of development budget? Okay, first, you have to understand, at a $70 sale, you don't get the full $70. The marketplace takes a cut, 30%. Even Steam. Now, Steam eventually does go down to 20%, and we'll factor in that cost as well. So, 30% off of 70 is $49. 20% off of 70 is $56. And now, keep in mind, we're not factoring in the tax they have to pay on the money they're making, or anything else. This is just raw sales, how many they have to make in order to break even. So $400 million, because we take $100 million on top of $300 million for the marketing, so we get $400 million. We'll start there. It's the most even projection. Dr. Disaster used that for his projections. At $49 per sale, they have to sell 8,163,266. Note that the last digit is rounded up because you cannot sell part of a game. At 20% cut, which I think is more fair and what I'll be using going forward, because it also factors in, hey, how many people are buying the deluxe edition, and realistically, they probably will get to the 20% Steam cut. But keep in mind, these figures are probably on the low end. They likely have to sell more because overall they're not going to get like a 20% division of revenue for everything. So it would probably be more fair to say 25% cut, but we're just going to do 20% cut just for the hell of it. So at $400 million again, divided by 56, that's 7,142,858 sales. Now that is factoring a marketing budget of $100 million. Marketing is typically either double the budget or half the budget. So let's just do half to be generous, which will bring the cost up to $450 million for this game. Divided by 56, that's 8,035,715. Okay, but what if it's the worst case, 350? So we take half of that and add it to it for the marketing budget, giving us $525 million they need to make in order to break even. That at $56 per sale, they need to sell 9,375,000 in order to break even. Yeah, they're kind of screwed. Now, what's the best case scenario for Ubisoft? The best case would be it is the 250 plus half the budget for marketing, which would put it at $375 million. Using the same math, they would need to sell 6,696,429. So worst case, over 9 million. At best case, just over 6.5 million. Actually, be more accurate, it'd be say 6.6 million. Now, actually, let's be really fair. 6.7. You have to sell around 6.7 in the best case to break even, and just over 9.3 in the worst case. Ubisoft's doomed. This game is not going to sell that much. You ever hear the saying, too big to fail? Well, this is too costly to succeed. This is what happens when you do not control your budget and let it get overrun into an absurd level. GTA 6 has a very similar problem. Like, we all know that game's going to sell in the tens of millions, but it needs to sell over 40 million copies in order to break even. And it took the first game just over a year to get to that point. So GTA 6 is going to have a problem because it's development cost. And that game everyone wants. And yet somehow Ubisoft thought it'd be a good idea to take a game that quite literally at this point in time you need to create an international incident with the Canadian government in order to silence your critics. And they thought, hey, this will be a great game to overblow the budget on. Yeah, the Guillemot family needs to be removed from leadership. And a lot of people are saying Tencent's going to take over. The French government is never going to let Tencent buy out Ubisoft. The French government has laws against foreign acquisition of their companies. So it's just not going to happen. Regardless, the Guillemot family needs to go. They're just incompetent. Just flat out incompetent. That's all there's to say about this. Laugh down in the comments. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.